Hi, I'm Paul Comfort, and this is Transit Unplugged, the world's leading transportation podcast that interviews top transit executives. I recently went on a road trip with Transit Unplugged for the TV show and the podcast. We visited Sacramento, California, where this podcast was recorded, and then we went on to Alaska, where we visited its two biggest cities of Anchorage and Fairbanks. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to bring you the interviews that I recorded at those three locations. I think you'll find them fascinating because I did them all live in person, not over Zoom, and we did it at multiple locations at each transit agency. When I visited Sacramento, it was very hot that week. It was record-breaking heat, 112 degrees outside. We did a lot of the interviews outside, and you may even notice the heat exhaustion, which I almost think I got. We had a great trip, though, there. I mean, we saw so many cool things. You've got to watch the Transit Unplugged TV show, which will be coming up on YouTube, to see what Henry and I are talking about. Who's Henry? It's Henry Lee. He's the CEO of SacRT, Sacramento Regional Transit. And we started our interview actually standing right on the Capitol steps of the Capitol building. Henry Lee is one of the shining lights in our industry. He won APTA's CEO of the Year in 2019, and SacRT won the System of the Year in 2021. But the picture wasn't always so rosy. When Henry joined SacRT as CEO 9 years ago, after 8 years as CFO of San Francisco's Muni, he was facing a lot of challenges and a board that wanted to see things turned around.
9 years ago, when I joined SacRT, we were in a very bad situation. Safety and security was, number one problem. And our fail evasion rate was over 20%.
Oh, that's high.
The crime rate was high too. And our board gave me a very firm directive that you have to address this, Henry. We start, to look at the industry, the best practices, and think about what is the best way to address, our, situation here. And we developed a award-winning safety and security program and implemented a whole bunch of industry leading-edge innovations.
Sacramento is the capital of California, our biggest state, and the fifth largest economy in the world. They are a large system serving 2.6 million people across 6 counties in the city of Sacramento. They have bus, light rail, and paratransit. And notably, one of the first, largest, and most efficient on-demand microtransit systems in the world. Like many systems, its on-demand microtransit is a crucial connector for disadvantaged communities. And microtransit helps augment their paratransit service by letting some paratransit riders use less expensive microtransit versus the traditional accessible bus.
The system actually, majority of the zones or the operations are in the disadvantaged communities. And those disadvantaged communities, customers, they don't either do not have the personal vehicles or, they just simply, cannot drive anymore.
Yes.
So this on-demand microtransit service is not just provide convenient service for the ordinary citizens. It's more towards to help the disadvantaged community, elderly, wheelchair customers to the hospitals and grocery stores and other places, or to our bus hubs or our system.
Okay, like first and last mile. SacRT is back to about 80% of their 2019 ridership levels. Some parts of the system, like light rail, lag behind because fewer government workers are going into the office. But there's one area that has boosted ridership and will help build ridership for years to come: students. SacRT was the first large system to let all K-12 students ride for free on the entire system, and not just to and from school, but ride anywhere on the entire system anytime. This gives kids a way to get to activities on their own and parents a break from driving. In 2018, there were 300,000 students riding the system for a total ridership of 1.5 million students. Now, it's more than 4.2 million kids. These are young people who are building the transit habit early and will become the riders of the future.
We did system-wide free.
Wow.
So students are not just ride to school, they go to after-school activities
that's free,
other activities. That really removes the barrier for the students to to go anywhere, and also, build the future.
That's right. I was going to say it's a brilliant strategy.
Yeah, the future, transit riders, and also just imagine the parents, they do not have to spend enormous of times to take their kids to school, whatever. So that is so, amazing.
For part 2 of this interview, we moved to Mulvaney's restaurant and actually recorded the interview in their wine cellar. Mulvaney's is a farm-to-fork restaurant and part of a huge farm-to-fork movement in Sacramento. Watch our episode of Transit Unplugged TV to actually see some of the food up close. One of the major projects over the last 9 years of Henry's tenure has been reducing fare evasion and reducing crime. We talked about how he accomplished it. When I was CEO in Baltimore, like all agency CEOs, I was laser focused on safety. Safety for my employees and passengers. And a combination of transit ambassadors and a voice of God system, as they call it, have netted some amazing results, including awards from TSA and APTA.
And what we have been doing, first, strictly complying with regulatory requirements. Laser focus on every step of safe operations, because the whole operations, you used to be a big agency CEO, everything, every element of the business, step involves safety.
That's right.
So we focus on every step of the safe operations and implement a whole bunch of initiatives, innovative initiatives to ensure we are on top of the game. For example, we're likely to be the nation's first large library system with the large size of ambassador program. We did not have that before I came here. Since I came here, we employed up to 70 ambassadors. The ambassadors, they serve two purposes. One is to provide real-time customer service. Second, they act as a deterrent to potential safety-related or crime-related issues. Because if you say somebody wear uniform with some equipment,
yes,
then people who may have some bad intention, they may think twice.
Now, are they armed or not armed?
They are not armed, but we have security guards and also police officers. They are armed. And another initiative, is we call it the voice of God. What does that mean is we have a very robust security operations center. Staff in the center, staff locate real-time cameras, over 1,500 cameras throughout our system to locate to send out any suspicious activities. If they found one, a suspicious activity, they will speak over the loud, speaker in that station or in that location, directly speak from the security center through the camera and the loudspeaker in that particular library station to tell, hey, this person wears a red jacket. You are not supposed to, smoke with, whatever. And 95% of time, those people complied.
Really?
So we did not have to send police officers or security guards or ambassadors there.
That's really interesting.
So the industry, brand that as a voice of God, and that actually saved lots of resources through technology.
Yeah.
Right? So as a result, our fare evasion rate reduced from over 20% 8 years ago to less than 1%.
Really?
Now.
That's really good.
And the crime rate used to be very high compared to our industry standard.
Okay.
Now it's about 0.007 per 100 passengers or riders. And that is also the lowest in the industry too. But we're very proud of the awards we received for the safety and the security. For example, in 2019 and 2022, we received Federal TSA, Transportation Security Administration's Gold Award for System Security. We received award twice. And in 2020, 2021, and 2023, 3 years, we received APTA's Gold Award for light rail security too.
That's amazing.
So later on we said, let's not apply for the awards anymore.
Yeah.
Because, we
Leave it, let somebody else get it.
But we never, stop, continue to improve.
I got to talk to Henry about how he turned things around at SacRT and how his agency manages to have 3 or more major project initiatives going at the same time. We all know managing large projects and initiatives is almost a project itself, but Henry and his team have a systematic 6-step process for making sure projects are successful.
In the last 8-9 years since I came here, we focus on first is the physical sustainability. And secondly, have a customer-centric culture. And the third, the business optimization. And the fourth is a strong accountability. And we have been relentless in our efforts to streamline business process, do more with less, and maintain a laser focus on customer service. We have developed a robust customer service practices to be able to implement, to immediately address concerns from our customers within 2 hours or, majority of the time, 2 hours or up to 1 day. Our financial is strong because of our emphasis on the business optimization. For example, our cost per mile for bus and rail are way below our California peers. We maintain a strong A2 financial rating and a stable outlook with rating agencies. And also, we maintain a strong reserve and long-term physical sustainability. As a result of that, the Sacramento Regional Taxpayer Association award us the first award they gave to the public agency in 2019, gave us award, the Physical Governance Award.
Really? The Taxpayers Association?
We're very proud of that. That is as a result of our relentless effort to run our organization most efficient and effective way.
Yeah. Congratulations on that. That's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. The reason we were able to implement this major initiatives is because we set up upward 6-step, like upward cycle of the practices. The 6 steps include, first, to have a clear vision. Second step is to have bold initiatives to implement the vision. And then the third step, which is critical, which is effective execution. We can have a wonderful initiative, but to implement that initiative, very difficult.
Yeah.
To effectively implement that.
How do you do that, Henry? Do you when you have a big project, do you have meetings where you kind of hold people accountable and those kind of things?
So, to be able to, that's the fourth step.
Yeah.
Is strong partnership and collaboration among all partners.
Okay.
And for example, our right-free students, right-free program, we have to work with so many school districts, school principals, cities and counties and others to make sure we are all on the same page.
Yeah.
Then because they have to pay some money investment in this program too. And then the fifth step, like we talked about, we need to have a great performance metrics. Then the sixth then the next step is a strong accountability.
Yes.
And this is a cycle from the vision to the bold initiative to the effective execution and a strong collaboration, then the performance metrics and a strong accountability. Then you continue this cycle. You continue to, in each major initiative, you use this cycle to continue to do to move forward, and then you become better and more effective to implement other initiatives. In any given moment, we have at least 3 or more major initiatives going on within our agency. By doing that, first, we were able to develop a strong team. Our leadership and our employees, they improved their competence, they become better and better. Secondly, and we learn from the previous initiatives how we implement that. Now we can implement the initiative in a much better way. right? And that's why we, were able to implement lots of, leading edge industry, initiatives.
We shifted gears to talk about one of the hottest topics in transit right now, transit-oriented development. SacRT has been working on TOD for decades and is responsible for building many housing units, all connected to light rail.
So we have a big light rail system with 54 light rail stations. A majority of light rail stations, we have large surplus lands or large underutilized park and ride lot. And our goal, from beginning 30, 40 years ago was trying to develop TODs around, those major hubs or stations. And since I came here, we really jumpstart that. So far, we have, implemented 8 TODs.
Okay.
And we have multiple other TODs in the planning stage or in the, studying, stage. For example, one, major development area is the Sacramento Rail Yard. Sacramento Rail Yard is a 244-acre urban infill development site, and which is largest across the country is the urban infill development. And we are building one new light rail station and another mile and a half light rail track to be able to attract more development in this area. Just the housing development alone, there are more than 10,000 housing units are being built. Actually, some of them already finished. And we're going to take a look at another TOD we just completed last year, which is the Wexler Students Housing in 65th Street Light Rail Station. And we'll work with a developer, private developer, to build a 230 units state-of-the-art students housing complex with about right now 700 Sac State students are living there. As a result of that, the developers built 2 hotels because the housing development is so successful. And then not just build 2 more hotels, they're going to build a larger housing unit, about 300 housing units in that location. Along our light rail lines, more than 20,000 affordable housing and market rate housing units are being built or already built or are being built right now.
That's amazing. Henry went on to talk about the grants SacRT recently received for their transition to zero emissions, including 28 hydrogen fuel cell buses.
Well, actually, last Friday, the U.S. DOT or FTA announced the awards for the no and low emission, low emission grants, $1.5 billion grants for the nation.
Yep.
$9 billion, request from many different agencies.
Yeah.
We put a wonderful application together to do 3 things. One, to purchase 29 hydrogen fuel cell buses.
That's great.
Second, modernize our bus maintenance facility in a disadvantaged community.
Okay.
Which serves about 37% of our entire services. The third one is a robust workforce development program. And to be able to operate hydrogen bus fleet, we have to build a hydrogen facility or actually a station there. And that will be the first hydrogen fueling station in the capital region, the first one.
That's great.
And as a result, really thanks to FTA, we were able to receive close to $77 million grant, which is the 3rd largest grant. The grant will help us to improve our service reliability, address our air quality concern, and also really to help us move to the zero emission future.
I wanted to wrap our conversation with some highlights from his career. Henry started at MARTA in Atlanta, working under Nat Ford. Nat was a tremendous mentor to Henry and encouraged him in his career. Before coming to SacRT, he was CFO for 8 years at San Francisco Muni. He came to SacRT in 2016 and has been CEO there for nearly 10 years. And he's accomplished a lot in those 10 years, including awards for the Best CEO and the Best System Awards from APTA. But it's his work with his people and the community that he seems most proud of.
In 2016, I joined SacRT as CEO, and now it is in my 9th year. I'm so grateful. By working collaboratively with my board, community partners, unions, and employees, we have achieved historical transformation with amazing results, such as we have over 80% customer satisfaction. Industry-wide is about 70%. We achieved 83% of employee satisfaction too, and 96% of our employees in the early this year, independent survey, said that they are happy to work for SacRT.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And we also have absolutely outstanding community partnership here. In last 5 years, 5 suburban in the capital region, 6 county, 5 suburban transit systems annexed into SacRT to improve the whole region's connectivity, service connectivity, and also improve the efficiency through the economies of scale. And I also want to say this, I'm very grateful to have a wonderful board here, and they actually now giving me an open-ended contract. So my future, plan is to stay here, as long as I can, to continue to, move this agency to the next level.
That's wonderful. Well, Henry, this has been, I can see why your board did that. I can see why you got those awards. You truly are a remarkable leader, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you about the great initiatives that you're doing here. And we look forward to seeing you continue to be a shining example for our industry in the future.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Transit Unplugged. Hi, I'm Tris Hussey, editor of the podcast, and I also want to thank our guest Henry Lee, Mulvaney's Restaurant, and everyone at SacRT for helping to make this episode possible. As Paul said at the start of the show, this is just the first of 3 podcast episodes and 3 episodes of Transit Unplugged TV from his trip to California and Alaska. Make sure you follow us so you don't miss a single episode. Speaking of upcoming episodes, next week we have the first of the 2 episodes coming to you from Alaska. First up, Alaska's largest city, Anchorage. We hope you'll join us to learn more about Alaska, Anchorage, and the land of the midnight sun. Transit Unplugged is brought to you by Modaxo. At Modaxo, we're passionate about moving the world's people, and at Transit Unplugged, we're passionate about telling those stories. So until next week, ride safe and ride happy.